It's your friendly neighborhood Cormac McCarthy fan. And several months ago, someone asked me, "Hey, you talk about Cormac McCarthy a lot. Let me get a rating of the books that you've read by him that you enjoy, best to worst or whatever." I felt kind of bad because even though I am a big Cormac McCarthy fan, I have maybe read half of his whole total discography. And I'm excited to read more. But I figured, you know what? Let's stop putting it off. I'm going to do a ranking of my Cormac McCarthy books that I've read so far as I make my way through his catalog. At the bottom of my current list of McCarthy books I've read is No Country for Old Men. It came as a surprise for me because the movie's so good. Book I just don't think is quite as good as the movie, but a good book, but just not, my least favorite of his so far. Child of God, just not as coherent and not quite as impactful to me as other books of his I've read. So we have Cities of the Plain. This is the final entry in the Border trilogy, starring Billy Parham and John Grady Cole. This is the one where they meet up. Very, very good book. I really enjoyed it, but again, it's not as good as some of the greater books of his that I've read that I like better. Next, All the Pretty Horses, the first in the Border trilogy. This stars John Grady Cole, features main character John Grady Cole. He goes down to Mexico, and there's horses, and there's love, and there's all this good stuff. Made me think, made me want to weep at times, just like I love a good Cormac McCarthy to do. We're in the top 3 now. The Crossing. The ending of this book just really shook me. Not because it was particularly exciting, not because it was a surprise, but just because of the way it made me sit and marinate on the things that this book may or may not have been trying to say. The Crossing, the middle book in the Border trilogy, very good. My favorite, Billy Parham, the GOAT. I love him. Would take a bullet for him. Blood Meridian. One of the most disturbing books I've read, but it's not disturbing for disturbing's sake. I feel like it is trying to say something about the nature of man, about the way that we wage war, about the fact that we are so attuned to commit violence against one another, and of course set in the backdrop of a real thing that happened. Very, very good book. Very well executed. The language is beautiful and beautiful and terrible at the same time. But you all already know probably my favorite Cormac McCarthy novel so far that I've read is The Road. This is the story of a father and son against all odds trying to make it to the coast in the post-nuclear war apocalypse. It is a story of how they love one another, a story of how they are there for one another, and a story of what type of hope a father can provide in a hopeless situation. So good. So good. If you don't read any other Cormac McCarthy, I think you should read The Road and really let it get you.